All right, say hi, Raina.
Hi.
This is Raina, and I'm going to be teaching you a strategy today that you can use when we're reading stuff to see if you understand something or if you don't understand it. So it's called CSR. That's the name of the strategy. So when we're reading something, sometimes, like when you see movie previews, like when you see a preview for a movie, and you see only a little bit, but you don't see the whole movie. It's just like Moana. Moana's about to come out. Did you see the preview?
Moana 2 is going to come out.
Yeah, and you know, like, oh, it's going to be some new characters, right? Because you saw some people you didn't see in the last one, but we don't know what the whole movie is about because we haven't seen it yet.
Like the trailer?
Yeah, the trailer. Exactly. Now you got me. So, when we are previewing a story, we're just looking at a little bit. We're not reading the whole thing. We're just looking at the pictures or the captions, and we're going to make a guess of what we're going to be learning about. So I want you to look at this picture and look through this magazine at the pictures and tell me, what do you think we're going to be learning about?
Okay. So we're going to be learning about... Do I start off from number 1?
Sure.
I gotta read it?
You don't have to read it all. You can look at this picture. That kind of looks like the sticker I gave you guys in class. Yep, I voted. He's got the same sticker. She's got that sticker. Okay, I see the flag. A lot of red, white, and blue. What do you notice on this one?
It's a blue flag with stars and it's white.
Okay, so what do you guess we might be learning about today?
Voting.
Voting, okay. I think that's a good guess. Okay, so that's called previewing. That's like how you said a movie trailer. That's exactly what it is. I used to call them previews. Like when you go to the movie, say, oh, the previews are coming on. But the trailer is the same thing, okay? Now what we're going to talk about are the words click and clunk. Have you ever heard the word click before? So if I say, did that click to you, Raina? That's like if I said, does that make sense? And if you said, yeah, that clicked, that means you got it. So clicks are going to be words that make sense. And words that make sense are going to be green, all right?
Right.
A clunk, have you heard the word flunk? Like somebody said, you're going to flunk that class.
Not often.
Not often. Okay, so clunk is like a bad word. It's like if the word doesn't make sense to you. You don't know what it means. It was confusing to you. So if a word is a clunk, it's gonna be yellow. Because like a yellow light means slow down. You might be going too fast.
Yeah,
so,
and a green means like
yes, go, because you get it. Right.
Red means stop.
Yes, red means stop. But we don't have a red highlighter.
It's a safety hazard because other cars can be coming, and people just run the red light. Every morning we go to school, they just be running.
That is not a good thing to do, is run red lights. All right, so I'm going to read this to you, and I want you to stop me. If it's a word that you think makes sense, we can highlight it in green. If it's a click, and if it's a word that you're like, I don't know what that means, Miss Sweeney, or I don't know what that is, you can say that's a clunk, and we'll put it in yellow, all right? Says, in the United States, Election Day is held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. Were any of those words clicks or clunks for you?
No.
No? All right, I'm gonna keep going. This means it can fall between November 2nd and November 8th. In years when there are presidential elections, Election Day will include voting for the President of the United States, as well as other federal, state, and local offices. How about those? Any clunks? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna read it again, and I want you to tell me which words are clunks. In years when there are presidential elections.
Yeah, elections. Sounded like it a little bit.
Okay. So I see the word election up here too. Election Day. Election Day will include voting. Okay, so it sounds like maybe an election is a vote. Does that sound like it makes sense? So instead of calling it election day, we could call it voting day. So let's write that down. If election is a clunk, we know that it means voting. So every time we hear election, we're just going to think of vote. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Says election day, which now we know that means voting day, will include voting for the President of the United States, as well as other federal, state, and local offices. Any of that clunk for you?
I almost heard the word, but not.
No? Okay. So federal,
That's clunk, though.
that's a clunk.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I kind of almost heard it.
Okay. On election day, people 18 and older go to a place called a polling station. Any clicks or clumps?
No.
Okay.
Well, that made a click.
Yes. Remember, clicks are green ones. That means you get it. Clumps are yellow ones. That means it's confusing. Okay. Says polling stations can be at schools, libraries, or any other community building. At the polling station, people vote. Did you know that? I'm going to say polling station was a clunk for me, because when I think of polls, I kind of think of like telephone poles or maybe the poles outside at recess, but I did not know the polling station was. So I wrote polling station as a clunk for me. But then it just said polling stations are places where people vote. So now I know that's what that means.
Should I write my name on here?
Yeah, you can. All right. Says voting means choosing the person that you think will do the best job. When people vote, they fill out a piece of paper called a ballot. Or did you have any clicks or clunks in there? We learned about ballot. Okay. Because we learned about voting in class, so we kind of know what a vote is.
Yeah, but we never learned about
A ballot?
Yeah.
Okay, so it says a ballot is a piece of paper that people fill in when they vote. So a ballot is just a little piece of paper. All right. Says the ballot has the names of all the people running for office. I don't really know what office means because I just think about the principal's office, or like if somebody has an office at their job. So
Wait,
how do
people
you run for an office?
You can like have an office like at schools, like
Right.
office where you can your own room, but you can like make it an office.
Mhm.
Like if you need to talk to a kid, you can just make it your office where you get the like fill paperwork instead of going in a cafeteria and
Do you
just
think
doing
that's
all
what they're
that.
talking about here? You think they're talking about these people want you to vote for them so that they can get an office like that?
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I mean either. I think office, they say they're running for office. So if they are trying to get elected, maybe instead of office, they're running for like a position or
And
a title.
these kind of doesn't make
Oh,
sense to
running
me.
for office. That makes sense. Yeah, because are they actually running?
Like running.
Running?
Why would you run? You're supposed to walk.
That is a good point. So I'm gonna put that whole phrase, running for office. What does that mean? Okay. The voters make a mark next to the name of the person they want to win. After they mark their choices, they put the ballot into a special box. All right. What do you think this whole little paragraph was about, Raina? If you had to say it in one sentence. Because that's our next step in figuring out CSR was trying to help us know what we
about
read.
voting, because most of the time I heard about voting.
Okay, so if we had to say this summary for that paragraph was all about voting. All right, the last step, and then we're all done.
Are we gonna do this?
Yeah, we can look in there too. Did you have any questions about what we read? So I think one of our questions was, what does it mean to run for office? Right?
Yeah.
Did you have any other questions that popped into your head while we read about that?
No, that was like the only one.
The main one? Okay.
Mm-hmm. The weirdest one.
What
like,
does
not that
it mean to run for office?
Yeah, I think they mean like the person who runs for the office, like who run it, like the person who runs the school. Like I think they mean like running the office.
Yeah, so like how you run. That was a really good comparison. I like that. So running for office is kind of like running a school. So we don't actually mean running, but that was a good example. Running for office, running a school. I think office maybe just means like the position that they want. So if you wanted to be line leader, right?
Like Scarlett
and that was the office, we can say running for president, we could say running for line leader, we could say running for teacher helper, running for, you know what I mean? So instead of saying running for office, we could just say running for whatever the position they want is, because you might want line leader, somebody else might want teacher helper, somebody else might want
eat lunch with the teachers.
Yeah, like so whatever they want, we could say that instead of office. All right, how do you feel about that? Would you give it a 1 for you still don't understand it all, a 2 for kind of in the middle, or a 3 for you really understood?
A 3, but the only one I didn't understand is like that one.
Running for office? Yeah. Okay, so we can revisit that one. All right, thank you so much, Miss Serena.
I want to
go for it.